Welcome, my dear students and the respected audience. Today we are going to deal with the introduction of transportation, which is under the course Transportation Engineering. In the earlier slide, we have already discussed about the what syllabus we are going to cover, what are the course objectives, outcomes. Specifically, Introduction to Transportation Engineering, that is a subject that belongs to Transportation Engineering, is designed for TY Bachelor of Technology in Engineering for the winter semester. Dear audience, I am Dr. Anand Tapase. I am from Raya Shikshan Sanstha's Karmayur Bhaurav Patil College of Engineering, Satara. What we are going to cover in the today's lecture is transportation and its impact on any country, importance of various modes of transportation, introduction to transportation engineering, highway, that is we generally call it as road engineering, historical development of highways, that is roads in India, and finally a broad view about classification of roads. Today what we are going to cover, whatever the contents are designed in specific way that after completion of this lecture, the students will be able to comprehend the historical development in highway engineering and they will get introduced to the transportation engineering as well. Dear students, imagine you bought an BMW car and that BMW car you are taken to your village where you don't have any type of highways, you don't have any means of transportation like roads nearby you. It is impossible for all of us to drive your BMW, Audi, Mercedes cars on agricultural farms. So it is a need of today that we should have a well-developed transportation sector, specifically the highway engineering that we are going to deal with. We people often drink tea, we people drink coffee, we export number of things, we import number of things to the state, to the districts, to the country, world over. Do you know exactly what transportation stands for? We all should know what exactly transportation means. It is the movement of the people, goods, animals, liquids and other resources from place to place. Well, I was talking about drinking tea in Satara district. Well, we all are aware that tea, the main byproduct, is originated from Assam that we are having in Satara district of Maharashtra state. Likewise, there are a number of things that we are exporting from state of Maharashtra, from our country to the other neighboring countries. It ultimately we can think about that transportation contributes to the economic, industrial, social, political and cultural development of any country. So every country is engaged and it is very cautious about the development of various modes of transportation. Dealing with the transportation, I was talking about transportation had number of different modes. To start with, we have highways, we have railways, we have waterways, we have airways, and the special ways like belt, conveyor, we have elevators, we have cables, we have pipelines, we all are aware about the space transport. Out of all the modes, we should recognize road transport as most important aspect or the most important mode of transportation, as all the other modes are highly dependent on roadways. We are aware, I want to go to China, I want to go to America and I have to take flight. If I have to go to other state, to Delhi, I have to go to other state like Karnataka and I want to go by railway. It is impossible for me to hire a railway or an aeroplane from my house itself. So the basic need is of road transport to the airways, to the airports, to the railway stations. So roadways are the nearest to the people and definitely it is the most important, or it is the maximum door-to-door service provider and it has maximum flexibility as such. Talking about railways, we can say it can be elevated, it can be surface, it can be underground. There are different forms of railways. today we are aware about. We are going towards era of bullet train. We have seen the monorails. We are always aware about the general. The third one is the waterways. We all are aware about more than 70% of the world or the globe is surrounded with water. We have number of water inland water bodies, and those water bodies can be used as a means of transportation. So waterway is one of the convenient mode of transportation world over. Airways, definitely we cannot forget about airways. It is the fastest means of transportation. Special ways like cable, belt conveyor, elevators are designed for specific purpose. They are responsible for particular locality. Pipelines, we are talking about the various means of transportation where not only the people or the goods, we are also talking about the transportation of oil, liquid, gases and other aspects. So the pipeline is one of the major mode of transportation that covers the transportation of liquids and gases. Space transport we are definitely familiar about. In today's lecture, or as per the subject outline, as per the scope of our subject, transportation engineering, we will be focusing our attention to specific purpose, or specifically for highways. We will be dealing with the railways, we will be dealing with the airports. Likewise, what transportation engineering and how transportation have relevance with, we will discuss herein. What is transportation engineering? Transportation engineering is the branch of engineering which covers the study, planning, designing, execution, that we call it as construction of roads, construction and the maintenance of roads, railways, airways, waterways, and the various ways along with the required components like bridges, tunnels, stations, docks, harbors, ports, etc. We all are aware about engineering is the applied scientific principles and technology that we are applying. Here in case of transportation engineering, the basic scientific principles and technology is applied for the safe, comfortable, easy and economical movement of people and goods from one place to the other place. The transportation engineering covers the various sub-branches of the subjects like highway engineering, railway engineering, airport engineering, docks and harbor engineering, bridge engineering, traffic engineering and tunnel engineering. Dear students and the respected audience, may I focus your attention on specific topics that we are going to deal in the course overall. We will be dealing with the highway engineering as the primary subject, or the first section as of the course is concerned as. Then we can focus our attention on railway engineering, airport, docks, harbors, bridges, traffic and tunnel engineering. Now, to start with the first mode of transportation, that is the highway engineering, we will be dealing in details. It is the nearest to the people, as I have already talked about. The mode of transportation, it is the nearest to the people, and functional planning, design, construction and maintenance of all types of roads such as tar roads, which are called as flexible pavements, and the concrete roads, that is the rigid pavements, etc., comes under highway engineering. Well, it is the World War I which was responsible for the development of this. The post-World War era, that is the post-World War I period, can be considered as the beginning of the development of roads in India. The then government may have thought about the development, the needs of various aspects in transportation, and they felt there is a need of development due to the various future usage and the current usage that was going around. So they have appointed a committee under the chairmanship of Mr. M.R. Zaikar in 1927. According to the committee have studied the various aspects, the conditions of existing road and requirements of future new facilities at that time. The committee took around 1 year span for its completion, for submission of its report. So in year 1928, they have submitted their report based on the study that they have carried out on the conditions of the existing road and the future requirements. The committee have recommended number of points, and the points were really very valid, and the recommendations that the Zyker committee have proposed we will discuss in details. The first one was the central government should consider road development as a national interest and should take charge of road development. So the first recommendation is that the development of roads should be considered as the important aspect as a development of nation. So that was the first recommendation of Zyker committee. The second one was there definitely for the development of everything or anything we need funds. So the second recommendation was road development fund is essential for the development of roads, for which an extra tax on petrol can be levied from the road users. That was the second recommendation. The third recommendation was there should be an advisory body which should be formed, which will look after various aspects, research, development of these road development plans. The most important recommendation was to form a research organization. So accordingly, there were a number of other recommendations. Those 4 recommendations we will be discussing in details. And based on those recommendations, what were the outcomes? Let us have a overlook. The foremost outcome based on the Zyker committee was the Central Road Fund, that is CRF, which was formulated in 1929. Extra money of 2.64 paisa per liter of the petrol was charged. Extra money of 2.64 paisa per liter of the petrol was charged from all the petrol buyers in the country. It has generated a good corpus, out of which a 20% corpus was kept for administrative works, and 80% of the fund were distributed among the provinces, the states at that time, according to the road users. The second recommendation was related to the formation of advisory body, and it was Indian Road Congress that came into existence in 1934. The Indian Road Congress was formed in the year 1934, which was considered as a semi-government organization. IRC was registered under the Indian Society Act 1860 in 1937. IRC recommended for periodical holding of road conferences to discuss the related issues of road construction, maintenance and development. In the year 1934, it was inaugurated under the chairmanship of Mr. D.G. Mitchell. Initially there were only 73 members. Now IRC is the national forum for sharing knowledge, research and experience, along with promotion to the use of standard specification for the construction and maintenance of roads, bridges, tunnels of road transportation. The third recommendation was related to the formation of a research institute. Accordingly, in year 1950, the Central Road Research Institute was formulated. It is one of the important recommendations of Zyker Committee. As we all are aware about, the India's Council of Scientific and Industrial Research is one of the biggest body, and CRRI, that is the Central Road Research Institute, is a constituent laboratory of CRRI, which is located in New Delhi. Now about historical development, I have made the different compartments to understand it more clearly. Now about the Zyker Committee and its recommendation and what are the outcomes. In the year 1927, you can see the Zyker Committee was formulated. In 1928, Zyker Committee have submitted its report. In 1929, the first recommendation came into the outcome of the first recommendation was the Central Road Fund was in charge. Then 1934, the Indian Road Congress was developed, which is the apex body in road sector which was formulated. In 1950, the Central Road Research Institute came into existence. So those were the major recommendations. Whatever the things have been occurred were the recommendations by Zyker Committee. So this is the 4-5 important points that are related to the Zyker Committee from the formation and to the development of Central Road Research Institute. We all are aware about the different plannings that are taken care of. There were 3 road development plans which were proposed. The road development plans were having a tenure of 20 years, so those are called as the 20-year plan. The first meeting was held in Nagpur, so the first road development plan is also called as the Nagpur Road Development Plan, whose tenure is from 1943 to 63. The second road development plan was developed in the meeting held in Mumbai. Its tenure is from 1961 to 81. And the third one was in the Lucknow, so it is called as the Lucknow Road Plan, which tenure is from 1981 to 2000. There were a number of recommendations, there were a number of planning stages which are proposed in those plans. Now about the road transportation and the various acts that are related to the road transportation. The first one is the Motor Vehicle Act 1939, which came into existence. The second one was Road Transport Cooperation Act in 1950, the National Highway Act in 1956, Motor Vehicle Act, again it was revised in 1956, National Highway Authority of India, which is the most important turning point in the road development sector of India, that came into existence in 1988. Highway Research Board is one of the important aspects that came into existence in 1973. And the PMGSY for specifically, which was meant for the development of roads in the rural part of India, came into existence in 2000. Dear friends, as we were talking about the Indian Road Congress, we had a discussion about the Zyker Committee, we had a discussion about the 20-year plan. Now, today we are in the era of MoRTH, that is the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. It has a very big history. The basic Department of War Transport was formulated in 1942. Then after there were number of changes made over. There were number of changes in the name. There were number of changes in the areas. In the number of areas were added. Number of areas were omitted. Accordingly, up to 1986. On 1986, it was named again as the Minister of Surface Transport, that is the most. After 1986, it was again renamed in 1999. The Minister of Surface Transport was subsequently reorganized. It was again, number of times it has been reorganized, and in 1999, it was reorganized into department, namely Department of Shipping and Department of Road Transport and Highways. Again, the same thing happened. There was a split into 2 ministries, namely Ministry of Road Transport and Highways and Ministry of Shipping, that came into existence in 2000, in year 2004 till today. It was merged and renamed as Ministry of Shipping and Road Transport and Highways, with 2 different departments, that is the Department of Shipping and the Department of Road Transport and Highways. Well, as I was talking about, 1988 was a turning point when the National Highway Authority of India Act came into existence. It was really a turning point in the history and the development of the road transport. In 1998, NHDP, that is the National Highway Development Project, to upgrade, rehabilitate and widen major highways in India to a higher standard, was chalked out. It was chalked out in different phases, and the phases were dealt with. The first phase was related to the Golden Quadrilateral. The development of Golden Quadrilateral, that was one of the dream project that came into existence, or which was initiated in year 2000. The phase 2 was related to the development of north, south, east, west corridor, which was one of the milestone in the history of in the development of roads. Then in 2005, the phases were divided into phase 3A and phase 3B of NHDP. National highways, that is the national highways, were upgraded to 4 laning, that we all have witnessed the change or the makeovers. In 2006, the phase 5 was launched by NHDP, that is the upgradation of Golden Quadrilateral and important national highways to 6 lanings. Then it was phase 6 it was launched again in the same year after a couple of months. Development of expressways at various locations. It was in the initial stage as a pilot project. It was considered as 1,000 kilometers of road at different locations were planned and executed. In year 2007, phase 7, that is the development of ring roads, bypasses and flyovers to avoid traffic bottlenecks on selected stretches were considered. Dear friends, this is all about the historical background that we have encountered, that we have dealt. I have tried my best to focus all the points in details. We all travel on the roads, we all go to the offices, we all go to the villages, and the different types of roads we encounter. So the roads are being classified based on different aspects. Based on various parameters, the roads are being classified. The first one is the season and the weather. Second one is the carriageway, that is the road pavements, the materials that we are using, location and functions, traffic volume or tonnage, economy, traffic type, rigidity, topography. That is based on the Nagpur. Then after development plans, that is the Nagpur road plan, Lucknow plan, urban roads and the road patterns. We are just aware about a concrete road and a tar road, that is the bitumen road. Also one of the road that we are familiar is the road which are constructed of muruk. But dear friends, the roads are classified in different aspects. Like this is the broad vision that I am going to focus. This detailed, I have focused the classification that we are going to see in the next lecture in much detail. Here the road classification, as I have talked about the seasons, that all weather roads and the fair weather roads. The carriageway, that is the road pavement, paved road, unpaved road, surface road, unsurfaced roads. As per the material, it is the earthen roads, gravel roads, murum roads, conker roads, WBM, that is the waterbound macadam roads, bituminous roads and the concrete road, that is based on the materials that are used in the construction of road. About the location, we people are aware. To give a brief idea about connection of state to state is done by the national highways. Then in the state highways have different function, that is connection of district to district. Then it is the district roads, major district roads, other district road, rural road. We are going to deal in much details in our next lecture. About the traffic volume or tonnage, light traffic, medium traffic roads. About the tonnage, it is class 1, class 2, etc. About also it can be considered as class A, class B, likewise, etc. About the economy, low cost roads, medium cost roads, high cost roads. About the traffic type, it is the pedestrian roads, cycle tracks, motorways. Rigidity, it is the governing strategy that we are focusing on, that the road, whether the road is a flexible road or whether the road is a rigid road. Generally flexible roads are constructed with the help of bituminous material and the rigid roads are constructed with the help of concretes. Then the topography, that is whether the road is on the plain topography or whether it is in the hilly area, that is so accordingly the plain road area roads and the hilly area roads. 20-year plan, the first 20-year plan have proposed a brief classification of the roads, and it is also called as the classification of Nagpur road plan. National highways, state highways, major district roads, other district roads and the village road was a classification according to the first road development plan. In the Lucknow plan, that is the third development plan, it was converted into three major parts, that is the primary system, secondary system and the tertiary system. In the primary system, expressways and the national highways were covered. In the secondary system, the state highways and the major district roads were covered, and in the tertiary, it was focused to the village roads. Urban roads arterial roads, subarterial roads, collateral streets, local streets. And about the road pattern, rectangular or block pattern, radial or star and block pattern, radial or star and circular pattern, radial or star and rigid pattern, hexagonal pattern, and the minimum travel pattern. Well, we will be discussing it in details in the next lecture. In the today's lecture, what we have covered, we should have an focus about. We will summarize the things that we have covered. Here we have seen, from the lecture we are now able to comprehend the historical development in highway engineering and got introduced to the transportation engineering and its basic concepts. Also the classification of road was briefly dealt, we have discussed about. Focusing on the next lecture, what we are going to see is, we will learn the detailed classification of roads. We will deal with the road planning and alignment and survey as per the scope and the syllabus as concerned. We have seen the various aspects of transportation. We have dealt with highway engineering in much details. Here, what are the expected questions that a topic covers till today, whatever we have seen. Explain briefly about the key historical development in the road transport in India. What are the recommendations of the Zyker committee? Define transportation engineering, explain the importance of various modes of transportation that we have seen, and maybe short note type questions can be asked on Indian Road Congress, CRRI, that is the Central Road Research Institute, NHAI, that is the National Highway Authority of India, that is second is NHDP, that is National Highway Development Project, CRF, that is the Central Road Fund. Those are the most likely questions, brief questions. About gate model questions, we can say one may ask a question like, the recommendation